playbook. And obviously Overpass, it's perfect in prime position for an op. The Kaze has just basically been able to put his foot down within the first map alone. So that mental reset really needs to come through for Bren here.
Yeah, finding themselves coming through to Overpass is going to be a difficult task. Now, I bet they've done the research, though. This push in towards the A site. Jazz the one here with just a USP, and unfortunately I don't think he's going to be ruling that site for all too long. Oh, nice little return by Pro. They've done some great damage in this round, honestly, Jason. And both of these players are one hit to the Deagle.
Oh, I mean, well, if you hit a head, everyone's one hit to a Deagle for you. Joking the less alive, but he's going to give himself the quad kill and save the round, even the AK. But, I mean, considering what they had invested for Bren, that wasn't too bad of a round. They get themselves 4 kills. They take a lot of the weapons out of the hands of Vici, though I think a lot of it were Galils and Mac 10. So, in the end of things, not really the greatest of rounds. Or greatest of kills that they were able to accomplish, but at least some confidence in them, right? Especially for Derek to hit that first shot. As we saw there, the final Deagle shot coming through as well at a Pro was nice to see. But going into the first gun round, I mean, they have all the money they could hope for to spend into this, but they need to start winning it. I think they really need to put a stop on some momentum that Vici has from that first map to really have, I guess, a decent chance in this map to take it to a third.
You know, when you come into the... It's not like they're going to be eco next round. So, well, not necessarily. They're not on $0 on every player. If they get a bomb plant, they can still be in an okay position. Here, they should be back in the game. Because remember, the T side of Overpass shouldn't give Vici a strong early lead. And if they continue to build up momentum alongside that previous map, I think Bren could be shut out of the mental game very quickly.
A little bit of a timeout coming in. I'm assuming this is a technical timeout coming through. I want to see, for me, more importantly, what Wits is going to be able to do on the op. I know I talked about it in a round prior. But I feel like, an AWP having something that can be consistent on a map like Overpass is something you're going to need to see. And especially when we see Kaze pick it up, though, I don't even know if he's going to be doing that much on the T side. I think we're going to see Vici kind of play that quick kind of style where they can all just mobilize, almost instantly. But also, I'm curious how Jam Young's going to go about this. Like, again, I talked about his alert play before. I wonder if he's going to be successful in a lot of his plays like that if he continues to do so when it comes to this map. Because Bren haven't really shown they've been able to deal with him too much. I mean, he had 20 kills, I believe, at the end of map 1 on Inferno. I think him and Joking both had 20, if I'm not mistaken. There was another player on 20.
This is a staple, really, of the region sometimes, these tech timeouts that go on. Because you've got lots of different factors that come down to even when you look at rooting in the region. I'm loving this, man. Look at this, Jason. Little drones flying around to give us these extra stats. Pro's not going to be happy about having his accuracy displayed, but he did have a decent time with the Deagle earlier on. Guess that can make up for it a little bit.
I almost wish we had these in like matchmaking games, except I don't want people to see how bad of a player I am.
2% accuracy, hell yeah.
I mean, that's double what I expect to get. Then again, I have played some matches with you and Banks together. Actually, no, I haven't played, but I've watched him streaming you and him playing together in some other games, and I don't think your accuracy would be much higher, Mitch. So.
Wow, you want to consult my HLTV page? Is that what you want to do?
I mean, I should technically have one from when I played in a show match back in Pro League Season 1. I think it was the USA versus EU is what me, Moses, and Semler up against Not to Devil Walk and Anders, I think.
Okay.
Not to Devil Walk. There's one more. I think it was Anders. And, you know, I did have a clutch there
Oh,
on
really?
the USP map, so I was quite proud of myself.
Fair play. Fair play.
Technically, I'm undefeated in LAN events. I won that, and I won another game over at EGX over at the UK. So, anyone needs a fifth, don't come knocking, because I'm probably going to bring your team down.
The master IGL. Oh, look, so one of the guys from Bren is DC'd. We've lost the Opera Wits. He's gone.
I swear, we need to have an event. Really? We need to have an event where there's like 10 casters, right? And we need to like have a West event and an East event. So you have like 5 of the commentators working on like the West event, 5 work on the East event, and they just train together. Like it's like a month-long event. They have their teams, they play against each other, or like I don't know, for money at the end of the month to see who wins. I think that'd be super fun.
That could be. I think we should try just 10-man casts. Let's do it. You've heard of the TriCast? Let's do the 10-man.
I mean, that's quite a jump.
Ah,
You know,
well,
I mean,
know what?
quadcast.
Go big or go home. That's what they say. And hopefully we're all at home right now. But it looks like the boys are slowly rejoining. Still waiting for Wits over on Bren. So a lot of the time when it comes down to this, these sort of situations, it can be like restarting VPNs because people need it. Like, it's crazy to me, Jason, and probably to you as well, that you have to manually route in this region. Like, you've got to route yourself through different countries via VPNs to get a better connection. I remember there was one team that their countries were basically side by side in the Middle East. I can't remember which 2 teams it was, but they couldn't play. Like, so if one of them played on a server in their country, it would be they'd have 10 ping, the opponents would have 100, and vice versa. So they had to play on EU where they all had like 70 or 80. It's like, how does this work? What is this?
I'm more confused by this word route.
Route. So like they have to.
You mean route?
No, I mean route.
I mean,
it's a route, not a route.
Dinko, if you're still there, can you back me up? Oh, not Dinko, because he's British. Bled, can you back me up? Oh, come on. I don't know who you are anymore.
Thank you, Bled.
That wasn't Bled. That was Dinko. In the first map on Inferno, he's definitely deserving of that title. Where are these titles coming from, actually? Is PGO coming up with them? Because I love them. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Toasty McToaster. I love it. It's like Bodie McBoatface, you know? Back into the game. Obviously, if you're just joining us, this is just the second map of the first game of the day. And the Vici did win map 1 16-5, and that was over on Inferno. We still have our second match to come up with Invictus up against Tiger. We still have Mazalai up against Divine Vendetta as well to close out the day. But week 1, honestly, is packed with so many great games. I'm looking towards like the Tyloo up against Invictus. I'm looking towards, let's see, what else we got? Yeah, Vici versus Lucid Dream. I mean, obviously, we didn't get to talk too much about the RMR points that have currently been accumulated between all the teams so far within the Road to Rio. But one thing that really stands out to me is Lucid Dream for the fact that they technically got 1,150 points. However, because 2 players retired and one of them decided to take a break, they had to change 3 players and they lost their core within the team and they lost all of their RMR points. Would lose more points than they I think would gain if they would have to like win the whole thing to gain more points to, well, and Invictus a chance to just hop on the board, right? It's 2,000 points for first place. place. You win this event, and you're basically jumping into, I'd say, like, almost top four, maybe even top one technically, if you can hope for the stars to go your way, or up to to align the correct way for other teams to fall through. But with only one more event to come for the fall RMR, event, it's like do or die time. Like, you need to have a decent place in here if you want to have a chance to go to the major.
Jason, that's one of the things that kind of perplexed me about this system. I feel like if you're going to use subs, you should get to keep your points, but you'll lose your 20% for whatever event it is. Like, it would make sense then for
Not
Astralis
overall.
in this event, if they say they were to play Summit, they were to get 1k points, for example, that they would get 800 because they used a sub. Fair enough. But if you're taking 20% of the overall points earned, it's pretty insane. And like, what if someone has medical issues or stuff? You're just being so unforgiving to any sort of issues. And I understand that it's to keep competitive integrity, and especially because this is a new system with Oramor, that they've got to be very strict on it, so that something crazy doesn't happen, like you end up without the best teams in the world, but some like top 100 makes it through because of some weird exploit. But
you don't want people to abuse the system.
Exactly.
You also want it to be fair.
You don't want it to be way too cruel as well, which seems to be where it is at the moment, where it's just immensely strict. Like, you look at North, where they've got players going away for medical issues, and all of a sudden there's even more pressure on that player to stay and to avoid his mental health or physical health, whatever it may be, because, oh, well, your team might not qualify to the major now because you take your break. And that's a big problem with the way it's set up.
I think it's also tough. I mean, I guess if you're one of like the top teams, you don't really see too many roster changes anymore. But imagine you're a team like this is a process that's been going on since. I mean, I can't remember. Did Katowice count towards RMR? I think I need to look that up just to double check it. But it's just kind of knowing that, like, this is practically an 8-month period that you have to stay together as a team, or you're just going to be punished points overall. And I think I kind of like that idea you were saying about maybe minus 20% points for the event that you play with that player, and then after that it doesn't matter as much, right? Because then maybe like they're actually taking a permanent spot on the team or something. But that's really tough to realize, that just because someone
for all these guys, it's a job, and you should always be left in a position where in your job you're going to be able to take those days for something these off moments. So I think it's something that needs to be looked into. Hopefully will be in the future. It looks like we got.
It was kind of like oh crap, the major can't happen because coronavirus. We need to make some sort of system in place. And I mean, I kind of like the system overall because it does give teams who are kind of consistent over time to have a chance to qualify, even if they have a bad result within an event alone. So maybe this is actually, I'm not even sure, is this something that is sticking around for years to come, or is this strictly for this own major? I honestly don't know. I don't remember reading on it.
I think for now it's just for this major, but this is similar to, I believe, what they have in Dota 2. I'm not a Dota expert by any means, but and from what I've heard, it's quite a good system for them. I think it brings a lot more excitement as well. We've got these regular tournaments that it's not like, oh, they're competing for X amount of money or whatever, and then there's this one qualifier to make it through, and if you do poorly, tough, you don't make the major. Now it's consistent. It's about consistency over your 6 months or whatever to come up to it, and that's really exciting to me. It also encourages rosters to stick together more, although, as I said, I think those restrictions and punishments should be eased a little bit.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize for the delays. As you can see, we're on camera now, so that means we're actually going to head to a short little break here while we do get things sorted. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear Mitch and I talking about random topics, because eventually they will go towards the direction of us potentially being fired from all future events. So we're going to head to that break. When we come back, we'll be getting back underway here with Map 2.